Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Triple H has weighed in on Jade Cargill's significant return at the WWE Elimination Chamber Premium Live event from Toronto at the Rogers Centre. Cargill did so as Liv Morgan and Naomi started off the Women's Elimination Chamber match, but before they could go after it, Cargill attacked Naomi and kicked her in the side of the chamber before leaving. Naomi was laid out. She's been off television since mid-November after a mystery attacker angle. While speaking at the WWE Elimination Chamber post-show, Triple H spoke about her return and the mystery attacker angle. Triple H stated, "I know sometimes that seemed like an odd build or an odd storytelling, the way it all went down over time. Sometimes, it is very difficult to do. It is very difficult to tell a story when you don't know the outcome that you have in front of you yet. Is she going to be back? Is she going to be back soon or really long? You just don't have any answers. Each week, you're kind of kicking the can down the road a little bit to see where you get to. Luckily, she was able to come back when she did, right now, and we were able to get to the place we did tonight. I thought it was an incredible moment, and so happy for her to be able to come back and do that. Excited to see where that leads with her and Naomi." When the arena lights went down in Chicago and that familiar storm of gold and black lights began to swirl, there was an electricity in the air that only a name like Jade Cargill could bring back to WWE programming. It had been months, too many, if you asked her fans, since they'd last seen the powerhouse who had taken the wrestling world by storm. But when Jade stepped onto that ramp, arms outstretched, a smirk playing at her lips, and the roar of the crowd washing over her, the long wait suddenly made sense, at least to Triple H. In a rare sit-down interview backstage after that monumental return on Raw, Triple H leaned back in his chair, fingers steepled, eyes flickering with the calculated pride of a man who knows exactly how to play the long game. "I know it seemed like an odd build sometimes," he admitted with a wry grin, acknowledging the months of rumors, the false starts, the cryptic social posts from Jade herself. "We knew we had something special in Jade from the moment she walked in the door. But when you have a talent like that, the timing has to be perfect." He paused, glancing over at a monitor showing a replay of Jade's thunderous face-off with Rhea Ripley that had just brought the Raw crowd to its feet. The confrontation was short but seismic, two alpha competitors standing nose to nose, the women's division's past, present, and maybe its unstoppable future colliding under the unforgiving lights. "People ask me all the time, why sign Jade if you're not going to use her immediately? Why all the stop and start?" Triple H continued. "But look at her tonight. Did that reaction feel like a mistake? Did that moment feel like something that could have happened 6 months ago, cold, out of nowhere? I don't think so." When Jade Cargill first appeared on WWE programming late last year, the buzz was instant and deafening. Here was a superstar who'd proven her worth outside the WWE bubble, who walked like a star, talked like a star, and made jaws drop just by standing still. Fans fantasized about dream matchups: Jade vs. Charlotte Flair, Jade vs. Bianca Belair, Jade vs. Rhea Ripley. The fantasy booking threads on social media were endless. But then, silence. Jade was shown in backstage segments, in the audience at premium live events, sometimes even stepping between the ropes for brief face-offs. Yet week after week, she never wrestled. There were rumors she was training at the Performance Center, rumors she was nursing a minor injury, rumors that creatives simply didn't know what to do with her larger-than-life aura. To Triple H, all of that noise was just part of the plan. "When Jade signed, we didn't want her to get lost in the shuffle," he said. "She's not someone you just drop into a random mid-card feud. She's an event. She's a spectacle. You don't blow that on filler matches. So we laid breadcrumbs. We teased. We let people's imaginations run wild, and they did. And tonight, you saw why we waited." Indeed, tonight's return felt like the culmination of months of strategic patience. When Rhea Ripley, freshly returned herself after reclaiming her title, raised her championship high above her head in what was meant to be her crowning moment of dominance, few expected that it would be Jade's music that would hit next. Fewer still expected that the two women would stand face to face, exchanging only a few tense words, inaudible to the audience, before Rhea dropped her belt between them and dared Jade to pick it up. Jade didn't. She didn't need to. The message was clear: she wasn't just here to challenge for the title, she was here to own the spotlight. Triple H chuckled when asked about the unscripted feel of that moment. "That's Jade," he said. "She knows her worth. She knows what she represents, not just for us but for an entire generation of fans who want to see something different, something real. She's not a cookie-cutter superstar. She's an attraction. The conversation turned to the unique pressures that come with booking someone like Jade, an athlete who arrived in WWE already carrying the weight of high expectations. Some thought her aura would fade if she sat out too long. Others thought WWE would water her down, soften her edges, force her into storylines that didn't match her no-nonsense vibe. Triple H shook his head at that. Jade's brand is strength, he said. Physical, mental, emotional. We had to protect that. If she'd come back too soon, before the right opponent, the right moment, it would have felt cheap. I'm not in the business of cheap moments. I want moments people remember in 10, 20 years. The man known as The Game has built a reputation as a patient architect of wrestling narratives. From the black and gold era of NXT to the main roster's more recent shakeups, his fingerprints are on some of the company's most iconic storylines. For him, Jade's return, and the promise of the matches to come, isn't just about rating spikes or social media metrics. It's about legacy, he said simply. For her and for us. Back in the locker room, Jade herself spoke briefly to reporters, still in her gear, sweat glistening on her shoulders like armor. When asked if she felt frustrated by the long wait, she cracked that same confident grin that first turned heads years ago. "You ever watch a lioness hunt?" she said. "She waits. She circles. She doesn't waste energy on rabbits. She goes for the kill when it's time. Tonight was time." As Triple H watched her walk away to a chorus of camera shutters and excited chatter, he seemed content, almost relieved. The odd build, the rumors, the second-guessing, it all faded under the reality of a roaring arena and a main event that suddenly felt more dangerous than ever. "People will always question the plan," he said as he stood, the interview wrapping up. "But the ones who stick around? They see the vision. And Jade? She is the vision." Outside the interview room, the echo of Jade's return lingered in the halls, a promise of fights, of titles, of a women's division that just got a whole lot more unpredictable. For Triple H, that's exactly how he likes it, a little odd sometimes, maybe, but unforgettable all the same.